Hey, welcome, welcome. So, I want to jump right into this topic, but Chalet, since you're here, please let me know. Is the yeah, so let me know if you can see the video. Um, maybe you can't. Can you see me live now? Mm. So we may have to go, and I'm going to talk. You see me. Okay, 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 okay. I was going to say, I'm going to talk just in case you can see me. Okay, so Chalet in the house, Chalet in the house, and Mumsy in the house, Mumsy in the house, Christine in the house. All right. So great, great. Glad you're here. Glad it's working. I had a tab. I have a tab open actually where I set up the live streaming directly through YouTube in case I had to jump over to it. The description, the thumbnail, all that was already set up. But I'm glad. Okay, so for us, it's working. But yeah, there was this big banner on StreamYard when I opened it, and it said that it had just been posted like 39 minutes before that they were having a problem with YouTube. They're aware of it, that the video can't be seen, and share some kind of link to people to see directly in StreamYard or whatever. I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. So I'm glad you guys can see me. So whatever problem StreamYard's having, either it was resolved already or it doesn't apply to me. All right. So the topic, what points make you suspicious or not? Or what confirms that you think the arrested parties are guilty? What clinches it for you or cinches it for you? Everything's okay, Mumsy says. All right. Chalet says, good day. Yes. So we can talk about any cases, but I know for me, the Idaho 4 and the Delphi cases, they have some serious problems for me. And could it be possible that the suspects that have been arrested are guilty, and the police in both cases just have not revealed the evidence that they have that would convince me? That's possible. I'm open to that. They might be guilty. There could be something I don't know that the police know that they're not telling us. Granted. All right. But what is it that makes me suspicious? And what makes you suspicious? So I'll start us off. Timelines. I think the number one biggest problem I have in both cases are the timelines. So in the Idaho 4 case, the police are saying that the murders occurred between 4 o'clock and 4:20 in the morning, 4 and 4:20 a.m. And they give in their PCA, they give a lot of, I don't know if it would be evidence at this point, but they explain why they believe that's the timeline. And I'd say, timeline and no 911 for a long time. Absolutely. The fact that, so Chalet, you bring up another good point. The timeline in Idaho 4 and the fact that nobody called 911 for 8 hours. And why? In the beginning, people were saying, well, we were told everyone was sleeping. Everyone was asleep. They'd all been out partying and drinking various places. So they might have just been passed out, And that's why, and so then you don't wake up. You just getting 8 hours of sleep is reasonable, But then we find out that that's not the case. They weren't sleeping. We don't know if the victims were sleeping at 4 o'clock. They probably weren't at 3 o'clock. I don't know if they were or not. They certainly fought back. So were they fighting back because they were awake, or did they get woken up by the attacks and started fighting back? Hey, CFM Queens in the house. Good morning from Canada, and good evening from Cambodia. And sharing the love there. Yeah. So they were we were told that the two surviving residents in the house were texting each other, so they weren't sleeping. I'm sorry, I don't believe that the sounds of the fighting and the injuries occurring would have sounded like a dog someone playing with their dog upstairs, and that you wouldn't have heard something happening on the same level in the room just down the hall from you. I don't buy it. She's lying about something, in my opinion, or the police put words in her mouth that she didn't say. So yeah, but then you combine that with the 8 hours to call 911. And we know that within 30 minutes, that house smelled like blood. I'm going to be frank about it. I'm frank. I'm Frank. No, I'm not going to pull any punches here. Yeah, the house smelled within 30 minutes, I believe, is what our trauma nurse guest had said. And so if let's, a lot of people think they were cleaning something up. I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't be vomiting all over the place with the smell that would have been in that house while they're trying to clean up. So were they even there? That's a possibility. Were they at a neighbor's house or something close enough that it would look like they were there? Or because there's a difference between a cell phone ping and a GPS location. So if they had turned off their location and they're just going by cell phone pings, they could have been at a neighbor's house. Maybe they were there. Maybe they were part of it. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just hiding in their rooms. I don't know. But one thing for sure is I don't buy this, 4 a.m. to 4:20 timeline. I don't buy it. What case is this? Sorry, trying to catch up. We're talking about Idaho 4, but Delphi is also open, and any other case that you want to bring up. What makes you suspicious about cases that you don't trust? That's the topic. And Chalet says they called each other instead of the police. Yes. And I actually have a document from the Idaho sorority and fraternity umbrella organization that says that if there's a crime, you are not supposed to call the police until you've contacted your sorority or fraternity leader. It's in writing. You also said, once again, a case where we are gaslighted, in your opinion, Chalet. Yes, I think we are being gaslighted by the police. They're feeding us the narrative that they want us to believe. Yeah. It happened pretty much on your birthday. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. That's a bummer. And, but I think I've mentioned before, but I'll mention here in case someone hasn't seen a previous video. as far as the car, because they're pegging the 4 to 420 on a couple of things. One of them is the car, suspect vehicle 1, which of course they don't mention any vehicle 2 or vehicle 3. They just say suspect vehicle 1. Maybe that's just how they write their reports. And it enters, I think 404. It enters the security camera's view at 404, but then they go on to describe how it was going slow, like it was maybe looking for something, and then it did this 3-point turn, and then it went off camera. And now obviously they know what time it went off camera, but they don't tell us that. They conveniently left that little piece of information out, which would then shorten this timeline, that if the person driving suspect vehicle 1 is the killer, okay, maybe that's Bryan Kohberger, maybe it's not. But if the person in that car was the killer, they had to do all of this, which would be 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. If it's 5 minutes, let's say it's 4, that puts you at 4:09. Then they got to, when they leave the camera, they still got to go park. That puts you at 4:11, 2 minutes. They got to go from the car to the house and enter the house and then go into a room. What's that? 4:13. Give him 2 minutes. If he's fast, we're at 4:13 now. Then he's got to kill 4 people who fight back. One of them, more than 50 stab wounds or gouges or whatever. Then he's got to leave the house, get back into the car, and then start driving away from wherever he's parked, and then come back into the camera at 4:20. So let's say 4:15. Say 5 minutes before he's back on the camera. For what? So I kind of give them some liberty and say less than 10 minutes. But it's like 5 minutes. 1 minute per person. No. Whoever was driving that white car can, unless if the injuries were 4 slit throats, mercenary, paramilitary, ninja, style. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. Yes. But that's not their injuries. It's not their injuries. So yeah, something doesn't add up here. I mean, so I don't even need to think, rack my head on all the other stuff, because right there is a problem, a very big problem. And that's if that was Bryan Kohberger's car. Whether or not, I mean, as far as convicting Bryan, for me personally, if Bryan Kohberger was in that car, on his little drive around and all of this, it would be exculpatory. There's no way he could have done those. If that was him in that car, there's no way he could have done those murders. Whoever was in that white car, no, not buying it. Glad I'm not on the jury. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it would be good if I was on the jury, because I'm looking at what the police are saying, what they're telling us, and that doesn't add up. There's doubt. There's reasonable doubt there, for sure. Do the police have something else that they're not sharing with us that would convince me that Bryan Kohberger is guilty? I'm totally open for that, but they haven't said anything. So I have no reason to go down that path. I can't logically go down that path without information. I think she would go with the facts. Oh, she's telling, yeah. telling Mumsy, I would go with the fact. I would go with the facts, you know. And so Delphi, let's look at Delphi's timeline. You've got somebody, okay, so you've got the bridge guy on video, and they're not there's 45 seconds or 40 something seconds of video that we don't see. All right, they just give us a little bit and a little bit of audio. So I am going to trust the police that whoever bridge guy is abducted the girls. That's the only facts. And we know the time they were abducted. I don't have any facts that suggest that they were killed at the same time they were abducted. Nothing. I got nothing. You know, 2 Delphi girls murdered, yes. Unless it's just some planted evidence, who knows? Well, you know, that's an interesting idea, because was the phone left under one of the girls on purpose or accidentally? Because that would make a huge difference. If it was accidentally, then it was probably all legit. If it was on purpose, I don't know. What if they were agreeing to act in something? We don't. I don't think we do. We does the video actually show the girls? Do we, like, if Libby? If I think it was Libby's phone. Not sure. I think it was Libby's phone. So then does Abby, when she's, and in fact I think maybe they've zoomed in on that guy. It might be whiter. So do we see Abby? Or could that have just been reenacted? Could that have just been acted, even with other girls, and then uploaded onto their phone? I don't know. I don't lean towards that. Is that a possibility? Well, maybe if she was just, they were abducted and then handed off to somebody else, and then somebody else saw that they had that video and thought, ooh, well, if we leave, you know, police are going to think that he did it. And so then the real killers would leave it on there and make sure it was someplace where the police could find it, so that it would point at the bridge guy being the killer instead of them. That would make sense. That makes more sense. It's a legitimate video by the girls being abducted. The killers find it and see it and think, let's point the finger at the guy that we had kidnapped them. Chalet, I don't know how the phone was not discovered by the killers. Yeah, it seems unlikely that they wouldn't notice the phone, or they wouldn't like take away their phones right away. They know they got phones. I think they're not going to take. They were completely stripped and redressed. They're not going to notice the phone. It's just going to fall out as they're redressing them. Here's Mama Kitty. Hey, Mama Kitty. They would have totally got rid of that phone. You would think. You know, so if I was on a jury, I want to see that coroner's report or medical examiner's report. What was their stomach contents? What was this? What was that? Did they take any vitreous fluid from the eyes? Did they blah, 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 blah? What measures did they take to determine a time of death? You know, and I don't like necessarily the guy Rick Snee. Is his Delphi After Dark or something? I don't know. I don't like his personality so much, but he's one of the people that said that he saw the crime scene photos. They were actually sent to somebody else, and then this person didn't know if they were real or fake. So they sent them to Rick to see, can you tell if this is real or fake? He's like, dude, I think this is real. You need to tell the police about this. You need to delete. I mean, don't share these with anybody or anything, right? And it was said that they were very white, which is called pallor mortis. Pallor mortis. And I don't think after 24 hours, I think there would have been some discoloration starting. I don't think they would have, I mean, there's only a certain amount of period. It's very iffy. It's about, because, okay, if they were abducted at 2:30, and they're saying like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they were found noon the next day. So that's 22 hours. I don't know. It's more likely that if they were killed at 2 o'clock, at 2 a.m., that then then you're talking 10 hours. That's very, very much pallor mortis time. 10 hours rather than 22 hours. So I didn't see the pictures. I don't know. But what did the police do? What did the medical examiner do? How did they, I mean, the difference between 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 2 a.m., and they're found as quickly as they were, I think they would be able to determine, like within 2 hours, what the time of death would have been. So I think they would know if it had been the afternoon or in the middle of the night. Need to read up on these cases. This trial would definitely be interesting. There are so many little rabbit holes you could go in, so many rabbit holes. But I know a lot of people talk about the defense's Frank's memo details as just being, hey, that's what defense attorneys do. They make up something and throw out there to create doubt. All right. And they just make it up. Yeah, some do. That happens. But at this stage, I don't think that they would name names the way they did and give that, because when you name names of law enforcement and of potential suspects, then you're open. If you're just totally making it up, you're opening up yourself to, it doesn't matter, you're a defense attorney trying to defend your client, right? I mean, they're going to come after you for telling lies about them, right? And so many details that they had. I really believe that they came up with that theory based on the discovery evidence that law enforcement had given them. And they went through and they just, I think law enforcement didn't count on him like being able to add 2 and 2 and equal 4. I think they felt that everyone's just going to go with the narrative that they said, and okay, it's Richard Allen, and this is why. But they don't have enough. Not with me on a jury. Oh, well, I'm giving my thoughts, and I think my thoughts are rational and logical, based on the information that we have. But I give me some more of like what you guys think. I have a vast vocabulary. Oh, thank you, Queen. If you like vocabularies, there's a guy, Lionel. His name's Lionel something. And he blows me away with his vocabulary. So yeah, timeline is big for me on both cases. I mean, I think we know that something isn't right based on the timelines. And in the Delphi case, everybody's alibis are based on the afternoon. But if they were killed in the evening, they didn't ask, where were you at 2 a.m.? They asked, where were you at 3 p.m.? So do the other suspects have an alibi for that night? You know, I don't know. Show me, hey, show me evidence, show me time of death. Show me time of death, and I'll buy the timeline. And that bridge guy, whoever bridge guy is, did it. Now, whether or not bridge guy is Richard Allen, that's a whole nother thing, right? But right now, I don't even think who bridge guy. I think bridge guy was their abductor. Yes, and you'll notice in the way they frame their the charges, they're not charging him with murder. They're charging it. It's like a in the commission of a felony. So the kidnapping is the felony, right? So that, like, it could be done by somebody else, but they had a part in it. So they're pegging him as bridge guy 100%. Queen says, I understand what you are saying, Maven. For punishment, when I was a kid, I had to either read the Bible, the dictionary, the thesaurus, or the encyclopedia. Oh man, that wouldn't have been a punishment for me. We had a set of encyclopedias. I loved it. Oh man, I could just spend hours. You know, you start with one thing and then that leads you to look up something else, and then leads you to look up something else. Oh gosh, I love reading and researching. Chalet says bridge guy is the one who confessed, but can we trust? Bridge, which bridge guy confessed? You mean Richard Allen confessed? Those encyclopedias saved me in school. Yeah, buddy. Queen says she liked reading them, so it wasn't really punishment for her. Oh, yeah. I don't know, what kind of punishments did I get? Grounding. I got grounded. You know, Richard. Yeah. So yeah, Richard Allen did make a confession on the phone to his wife, and there is a theory that that the Odinist guards in the prison, which there's no question about that. You've got guards, prison guards, allowed to wear patches, religious patches. I don't care if it's a Star of David, if it's a cross, if it's a crescent moon. You know, they were wearing patches on their uniforms, working as prison guards. And then once that came out in the Franks memo, and then they were told, hey, you better take those patches off. The guy gets his stuff tattooed on his face. Why isn't he fired? Why don't you fire some? If that's not, how emboldened do you have to be as a prison guard to wear the patches, and then when you're told to remove the patches, tattoo your face? So yeah, there were Odinist guards. And were they putting some kind of pressure on Richard Allen? I think it's likely. I don't know 100%, but I think that's pretty likely. So yeah, were those confessions made to save the lives of his wife and daughter? I don't know. Yeah, Chalet got grounded for saying, Sassy Mouth got washed out with soap. Queen says, yeah. If someone confesses, it's pretty definite unless they are lying to protect someone else. Well, there you go. Good character building. Yeah, we all had to have our character built. I guess a lot of people don't, though. Oh, isn't it horrible about the little 3-year-old boy and his potty training? Peach flavor. It's really good. Used to get soap in the mouth and in the corner. I used to put my kids in the corner. I'm not sure my mom ever put me in the corner. Mumsy, you have to tell. You have, if you remember, if you ever put me in the corner. I don't remember ever being in the corner. I just remember getting grounded, getting stuff taken away. You know, maybe having to do more chores. You know. But yeah, the potty training thing, that's just so sad. And then the guy so if you guys don't know, there's this little 3-year-old boy. He's still missing. They haven't found his body yet, and they're pretty sure it's a body they're looking for. And so his mom sends him to this other guy to teach him how to be a man, because he's 3 years old and he's still not potty trained. I guess she's tired of buying diapers. I don't know. And he tells the police, like, this is a normal thing. Well, I changed his diaper once a day, you know. Oh, yeah. You only have to use a toilet once a day? You know. Yeah. Just horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh, I got sent to my room. Yeah, I remember that. Thanks for reminding me. Good to have Mumsy in the house. Oh, did I do Queen in the house? Queen in the house? There, if I forgot. If I didn't forget, then you got it twice. Ivory off the top teether, crying in the corner, making bubbles. Chalet got put in the corner. Oh, punishment in high school was cleaning the Venetian blinds from Mel. Teeth. Oh, your top teeth. Yeah, it's horrible with the little baby. Bathtub hack to clean those blinds. Ah, I've seen that. I think my mother-in-law taught me that. Put soapy water in the bathtub, and then you take the blinds and put them in there. Soak them. But you still got to kind of like wipe them, I think. Anyway, yeah. So what about you had to do it one by one? Well, yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to take them down. Exactly. So with Idaho, another problem I have is the DNA. Okay, so they found some DNA on a sheath that was found in the bed with Kaylee and Maddie on the top floor. And I think the first people didn't see it, but then it was kind of half under somebody or under the covers or whatever. Chalet says ours for never that bad. We had to put them in the tub, but you've seen plenty in your cleaning days. Sorry, you're talking into your phone. Oh, and then it's like it's typing it for you. That's cool. Yeah, so there was some DNA on the brass snap of the sheath. That whole thing is suspicious to me. Some people talk about DNA on brass doesn't last for that long. I don't know how that's relevant. It's been said that it's touch DNA, which I think everybody thinks that's what happens when I touch my phone. Now my DNA is on my phone. I've touched my phone. That's touch DNA. No, it's like it's when you touch the elevator button and then someone else touches the elevator button and gets your DNA on their finger, and then they touch something, and then they touch their phone, and now your DNA, which you only touch the elevator button, now your DNA is on their phone. That's touch DNA. I think it should be called transfer DNA so that people aren't as confused. Yeah, where's Andy? Andy, are you listening? Give us just a little pop-up hello. So I have kind of some problems with that. I'm not trusting that whole DNA thing. And then the sheath was put in the trunk of an officer's car for like 5 days before it was logged in as evidence. And then the sheath was sent to Texas without them knowing it was part of a crime. So you've got no chain of custody on this sheath. The whole touch DNA is so not. Yes, it's a scary thought, Maven. yeah. I mean, our DNA is everywhere. And other people then touch the same things, and then they get our DNA, and then they touch things, and there you go. You know, the transference of your DNA onto a crime scene. Yikes. This could be an example of that. If that's his DNA, you know. And so what I'm curious with, because it was such a small sample, the number of like cells or whatever was so small, then they get, so they sent it in to a place that does generational matches, and they match it to his father. Okay. So then they think, and then they arrest him and they take his DNA and they say it matches. It matches what? I mean, it matches the DNA that was on the sheath. But were they able to actually get a profile of a person? Well, I guess. And then that person that they were able to get matched what was in the database of the father. And oh yeah, you follow 1111 Tarot, and she was a touch DNA person, and she smells rats. Excellent. Yeah, I haven't watched her very much. I've watched her a little bit. Yeah, and she's not tarot related. She's following both of these cases daily. Really, I'm gonna have to pop in and see her shows again. Yeah, but I think something fishy's going on with the sheath itself and with the DNA from the sheath. Because if it is touch DNA, wouldn't that prove that he didn't touch it? So that's what my just simple mind, just looking at things simply. If touch DNA means that the DNA was transferred, that's what it means, which I believe it is, then wouldn't that be exculpatory? Wouldn't that mean that somebody else transferred his DNA onto it by the very nature of touch DNA? What am I missing here? This is suspicious to me. Tres poison-ish. Very poisonous-ish. Yeah, you would think so. So those are, is there anything else making you guys suspicious? I mean, there's a lot of suspicious stuff in these cases. Those are my biggies. But if that's what chalet means. Very poisonish. Poison is fish. Oh, like pescadero or pesca in Spanish. Spanish things with PESC. Like a pescadero would be a fisherman or something like that. You're spelling it wrong. Ah. Oh, but Queen knew what you meant. Yeah, see, I kind of like, try to like block French. Who was that? That's you saw that one. It's Artemis. Poisson, fish. Pollo. Oh, really? POS. So you looked at, so you know. Okay. I was going to look it up. Queen, you don't know Francais. Means it's very fishy. Thank you for translating, Queen. Very fishy. Mais oui. I know that's we. Right, Chalet. It's spelled like that. We. But I don't know maze or may, we, may we. Because they have silent S's. I know that. Because so much in Khmer words, the Cambodian language is Khmer, and it was a French protectorate. So the French are the ones that took the Khmer language and put it in, we call it Roman alphabet or Latin letters. And but they followed their French rules. So you look at the way that Cambodians spell their own words using the Roman alphabet, but it's French pronunciation. Queen says, yes, I know, but you spelled fish in French wrong. Okay. In my defense, I was talking into my phone and I was only one S off. That's right. I really had no idea that poisson is French for fish. I just know that Spanish also starts fish with a P. Sometimes the French put things backwards in the sentence too. Oh, yeah. Khmer does that on its own. I mean, without the French help. So, but I understand a lot of languages. So we say like, put our adjective in front of our noun. So a blue car, I saw a blue car. And they would say, I saw a car blue. 3 years of French class, but mostly fun. Yeah, I wanted to take French. I wish I could find that guidance counselor. She's still alive, you know, and that refused to let me take French. She told me I had to take Spanish. Signed me up for Spanish and I got an FA. Remember that? It's because it was the first class of the day, you know. Wasn't really my fault so much. I was actually kind of getting into it and it was kind of fun. And then I got sick and I missed like 3 days because I was sick. And when I went back, I was so lost. They had like learned so much that I was lost. And so then my friend had photography class in first class. So I'd go that was my friend Patrice mom. So I'd go hang out with Patrice in her photography class during my Spanish class. Because I was beyond help. I couldn't catch up. French and Spanish are similar. Yeah. But that guidance counselor, the reason she wouldn't let me take it is because I told her what I wanted to do was maybe get into some kind of social work and helping people and stuff. And so she said, well, if sociology or social work is what I want to do, then I have to learn Spanish because everybody in California, because I'll be working with like migrants and poor people and the underclass who all speak Spanish. So I have to learn Spanish. And I said to her, but what if I end up moving to Canada? They speak French in Canada, you know? And she was like, no, I'm not signing for you you have to take Spanish. And that really kind of ticked me off. And look, I moved to Cambodia. I didn't move to Canada, but I moved to Cambodia where French would have been helpful. Huh. We were determined you were going to go backpack. Did you do it? You said you were going to backpack through Europe. Did you never get to do it? Or did you do it? C'est français est slang. The key Latin languages. Yeah. Well, there were 3. A German was also offered. Yeah. But anyway, we're kind of off topic here. It is an Are You Ready to Ramble? So we can ramble about languages. But anything else that makes you guys suspicious of these cases or any other cases? Happy to talk about it. Otherwise, maybe we'll just wrap it up. Make it easier for people to watch replay. So I know sometimes if it's over, if it's a 2-hour, live that I'm, it's like, oh, do I want to spend an hour and a half or 2 hours listening to a live that I wasn't a part of? It's got to be a really good topic that I want to listen to for me to do that. Baby bags in Florida. I don't know that. What are the baby bags? French, then picking up Italian and Spanish are easier. I suppose if you know Latin as well. Is that Cassie or no? That's Artemis. I think if you know Spanish, picking up French maybe is easier as well, right? And Italian. Or if you know Italian, then French and Spanish will be easier. I think it could probably go either direction. Oh. So instead of taking backpacks to Europe, you got diaper bags, baby bags. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Hey, why don't you go now? Only you don't have to backpack, but you could still travel Europe in hotels. Still go see all the places. Probably be better because you have so much more knowledge and so much more wisdom and everything than you would when you're younger. I mean, we're smart enough. I think we are all smart, especially Gen X. You have no desire. Just use Google Earth. It kept you safe. Yeah. That's what you meant about Latin key languages. They are Latin derived. So yes, Maven, they all work the other way around because they're similar to each other. Yeah. I'm going to miss Bob in my crosswords because he knew Latin. He went to like a Jesuit school, I think as a teenager maybe. And so he picked up some Latin. My grandma knew Latin because she was Catholic. And well, I don't know if it was just because it was Catholic and they did mass in Latin. I mean, it might have just been public school actually taught Latin. Mumsy, do you know? Did she, because she did know Latin. And did she know it because public school taught it or because of the Catholic mass? Sorry, you lost him. Lost who? Did I miss something? Oh, me. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Chalet, that you're sorry that I lost Bob. I miss him. Yeah. There's so many times like something quirky. Oh, Mumsy says she thought it was French. I'm pretty sure she knew Latin. Yeah, Bob. I it just took me just a second. And I was thinking, oh, did I miss something in the comments? I was thinking you were responding to Queen about something Queen had said. For some reason, that's why I didn't make the connection right away. I apologize. But yeah, sometimes if there's something quirky on, like a quirky short or something like a TikTok kind of thing, I would always, or a meme, I would share that, my go-to was share it to Bob. And yeah, can't do that anymore. Snow. Hi, Snow. Welcome. Snow in the house. Snow in the house. Woohoo. What about Bob, your favorite? Like a favorite memory about Bob? I don't know. He went with me to the premiere. I don't know if this is a favorite memory, but it's a memory. When Angelina Jolie's movie, First They Killed My Father, had a premiere up in Siem Reap. He went up Siem Reap with me to go to the premiere, and he doesn't usually like to go outside of his little comfort zone. And so that was nice. I think he really enjoyed it too. The movie. Is it getting late? What About Bob is like one of my favorite movies. Yes. I'm sailing. I love that part. He's tied to the mast. I'm sailing. Snow got it right away. Yeah. I love the way that the progression crosses, so you've got Richard Dreyfuss, strict, sane psychologist. You've got Bob, every psychological disorder, he's got it. And as he becomes more sane, then Richard Dreyfuss gets more crazy, and their arc kind of crosses. Love the Idaho 4 interview video from a month ago. Oh, thank you. You love the movie Couch Trip. I don't think I've seen a movie called Couch Trip. Movie Couch Trip. 1988. Okay, let me share my screen so people see what I'm looking at here. Here it is. Couch Trip, 1988 comedy thriller. Dan Aykroyd, yeah. Oh, Snow is a former PhD in psychology and social psychology. Excellent. And Chalet loves Richard Dreyfuss. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, I think I saw that. I mean, I know of it. I think I saw it. Queen, I saw that movie in Nebraska, in Omaha to be exact, on the couch. So yeah, let's look at some images here. The Couch Trip. I had to have seen it. Dan Aykroyd. So what? I mean, I would have had 2 kids at the time. Videos were really big. I mean, to rent videos at the video store, and you're always looking for the latest thing coming out. Oh, and then somebody made Vampire Couch Trip. Look at Walter Matthau with his hair like that. Oh, so do they do the same kind of crisscross thing? Interesting. All righty. Head over to Blockbuster. Exactly. Yeah, I might have missed it. You sometimes you miss them. You never figured out the real reason the cork was on the fork. That sounds interesting. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find this movie. But Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, oh yeah, Steve Martin and Michael Caine. I'm pretty sure I saw it back when it came out. But it's like it didn't leave a big impression on me, I guess. Anyway. New comments. Must-see movie. Couch Trip is a must-see movie. All right. The Jerk. I know I saw The Jerk. Hilarious. Okay. Blockbuster and Jumbo Video. You always love the free popcorn. Oh, popcorn. Whoa, that sounds good. Snow didn't care for scoundrel, dirty, rotten scoundrels. I was born to a poor black child. I believe that was Steve Martin that said that. Was that one of his just routines, or was that actually in a movie? Oh, it's probably in The Jerk. Okay. Yeah. It isn't about the money, it's the stuff. You're full of them today. Excellent. I almost feel like we're morphing into like Gen X territory. What's our topic going to be for tomorrow? Anybody have a favorite topic for tomorrow that you want me to, so that when I schedule it, I'll title it for Gen X. Tomorrow's Gen X memories. So what are we going to talk about Gen X? If you ever need a profile someone, feel free to ask you. Okay. That sounds fair enough. We love Bernadette Peters. Fishing. Oh, should we talk about fishing tomorrow? How does Gen X fishing differ between other generations? We did camping last week. Just ramble. All right. No topic. No special topic. All right. So let's end this one for tonight. It's been an hour. I like rambling too. I do. That's why I made a show called Are You Ready to Ramble? Gen X were the last to be able to eat the fish they caught from rivers. Ooh. You're probably right. Although I think the ice fishing fish you guys could probably eat up there in Canada. All right. So you guys know that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you are watching this, I love you. You know why a raven is like a writing desk? Is that a special riddle? I don't know. Hugs to everyone, Mumsy says. Queen says, yes, they can eat the fish in Canada. Chalet says Canada's good. Snow, you're going to have to tell us tomorrow why a raven is like a writing desk. All right? I want to know. So you got to join me tomorrow. For me right now, it's 10. I started an hour ago. That's 9 p.m. for me. So whatever time that is for you, that's when I start. Okay, you're going to be here, Snow. I'm going to hold you to it because I want to know. And Queen says it just depends where you fish and if the fish are wormy. Ooh, I wouldn't want to eat wormy fish. Ugh. All right. So see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Bye.